Have you ever wondered why the news plays the same 5 stories again and again? Let me give you a little hint. Brainwashing and repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing. Join me as we look at the news cycle and talk about why the mainstream media is so gutless and afraid to report the truth. What's happening? Welcome to Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Hope you're well. Happy Friday. All the rest of those amazing things that happen on Friday. Or happy Friday. So as you know, what's going on? I see everybody in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing up. Prime Loot. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea. Okay, so anyway, this is the show where we get together and just talk about the news. And the idea there is that the mainstream media is, just like I said in the intro there, it's kind of a joke these days. And so you can't even get any news anymore properly without it being politicized or redacted or spun or basically just flat out lies. So, well, let's do it ourselves. Let's just do it our damn selves. And that's what this show's about. It's part of a larger show called Troubled Minds Radio that we do Monday through Thursday. And of course, that's the nighttime show. We do it at 7 p.m. Pacific, and we talk about all the crazy stuff. This one's a little more down to earth, just kind of looking at the news cycles, talking about why they are the way they are, and then just discussing quick hit news stories. Pretty simple as that. So as always, if you guys want to be part of the show, you can reach us at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. Watching all the places, and we'll see you there. We'll see you on Discord, or we'll see you on the chat here. It's part of, or on the phone line. It's part of the transparency process. I talk about it a lot. And that the government's really crappy at it. The news media and these private companies are really crappy at it. Nobody knows how to do transparency anymore because it's not in their best interest, right? They'd rather hide what they do because the stuff they're doing is shady, and that's the way it is, right? It's just shady. So anyway, that's what's up. That's what this is, and that's what's going on. So I see you guys in the chat. What's happening? Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing up. And let's do it. Let's get to the news here. Let's begin with this one. This is from Tor.com, and this is pretty cool. This is today, Friday, January 7th, and the headline is 5 hypothetical reasons aliens would bother visiting Earth. And yeah, right, and pretty good stuff. I was like, yeah, why not, right? This is what we need to be talking about, don't we? This is one of those why not, right? So number one, they say a perceived threat. Excuse me as I yawn. Perceived threat. Yeah. So regrettably, it seems our radio and television signals become inaudible noise fairly close to the solar system. What should be clearly detectable across a surprising fraction of the Milky Way, however, are exo-atmospheric nuclear detonations like the ones produced by the 1960s U.S. and Soviet Union weapons test. Good news, our neighbors within 70 light years are probably not judging us by the Gong Show, The Trouble with Tracy, or Big Brother. They're judging us by the fact we are demonstrably using nuclear weapons. A question that may well occur to our hypothetical aliens: if humans are willing to use nuclear weapons on each other, what will they do to beings not related to them at all? So they would, maybe one of the reasons they visit us would be a perceived threat. And yeah, so there you go. There's another one. Acquisition of biological materials. Again, we're talking about why 5 hypothetical reasons aliens would bother visiting Earth. Number 1, we may be a threat. 2, acquisition of biological materials. This is a pretty good article here. Good stuff. Every species on Earth is the product of billions of years of variation and natural selection. Even if every life-bearing world has the same fundamental biochemistry, it's vanishingly unlikely that any 2 worlds have the same life forms living on them. Not only does it appear plausible that the Earth's life forms are unique to Earth, it's almost certainly the case. So they're saying that they may come to get biological materials, whether that's, I don't know, cattle or people, maybe. Who knows? Here's another one, number 3, cultural exchange. And again, reasons why aliens might visit Earth, hypothetically. So here we go. Humans have their annoying quirks, but they are very, very good at producing human art and culture. Indeed, humans seem to produce art and culture like a plant produces oxygen. If aliens want their Rembrandt paintings, Lagan DVDs, and baby metal albums, aliens will have to come to Earth to acquire them. Gucci goo. Here's another one. Convenient living space. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this are these guys on the ball writing this article, or is this just seem a little bit goofy? Let's go one more. Convenient living space. It will come as no surprise to anyone living in a settler nation. Earth may be valuable because it's a life-bearing world with abundant water and free oxygen, where beings like us could live. We have no idea how rare those are. It's true we're living on the planet at the moment, but any civilization that can reach us commands technology we cannot match. Given how many people are where they are because they are aggressively seized land from previous occupants, it doesn't seem as if humans displaced by aliens would have any grounds for complaint. Humans being humans, no doubt, they will protest bitterly for however long it takes the heat rays to be deployed. And let's see, the last one, location. Of course, why not? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so, 5 hypothetical reasons. Not bad, not terrible. Yeah, convenient living space. I don't know. That seems a little bit out there, but that's okay. We can give them the benefit of the doubt. Nice try here. James Davis Nichol wrote this article, came out today, and why not? Why not some hypothetical reasons why the aliens would visit us or not? Let's go to. Let me link that if you want to check that out. Read the article in full. Yeah, exactly. There's some pretty. It's an odd article a little bit, but I thought it was fun anyway. Let's go to space.com. We're going to go to the Hubble. Let's go to the Hubble. Let's see. Yeah, the Milky Way's outer reaches may have lumpy, choppy arms. The new model presents a contrast to the traditional long, sleek arms presented in images of our galaxy. What does that mean? Does that mean the octopus we talked about is indeed in play? Here we go. We may need to check our assumptions about how the Milky Way looks to an outsider. While the typical artist's image of our galaxy suggests a barred spiral with long, graceful arms, the challenge is that we have made these interpretations from data collected within the galaxy, which provides a poor view of its outer reaches. New work from the Hubble Space Telescope, based on measuring distances to cosmic objects, shows at least part of the outer arms may be clumpier and stubbier than believed. That said, predictions suggesting a lumpier set of arms at the galaxy's outer edge were made as far back as 1971, the research team said. Quote, "It's a good possibility that the outer disk of the Milky Way resembles the nearby galaxy Messier 83 with shorter chopped up pieces of arms," Josh Peak, an associate astronomer at the Space Telescope Science Institute, the STSCL, in Baltimore, said in a statement. Peak and his colleagues focused on studying the Perseus spiral arm of the Milky Way. Mapping our galaxy typically involves trying to measure distances to different objects. Scientists can use masers, M-A-S-E-R-S, which are naturally occurring radio sources that happen in regions with a lot of massive stars being formed. But these masers aren't everywhere. Scientists often need to use other techniques to approximate galactic scale distances. So there you go. The Hubble says, yeah, exactly. The Milky Way's outer reaches may have lumpy, choppy arms. Okay. All right. Cool. Looking to hear from you. You want to call in and be part of the show. 702-957-1037. We'll put you on. It's easy as that. Watching the Discord as well. If you want to hop on with troubledminds.org, click the Discord link. Let's go to whoever this is. What's happening? You're on Troubled Minds with Mike. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Mike. I'm Andrew. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. What's happening, Andrew? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right and happy it's finally positive digits over here for weather. So
right on.
Calling from beautiful state of Montana.
Nice. Andrew in Montana. Go right ahead. What's on your mind, my friend?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm calling about the topic of possible alien habitation of Earth.
All right. Sweet. What do you think?
I'm going to try to not go too sci-fi here.
You're allowed to go as sci-fi as you like. Go right ahead, sir.
Fantastic. So, with the premise of life being so abundant here on Earth because of our atmosphere, I'm just kind of wondering, what if life on other planets doesn't exactly need the atmosphere that we have? What if they were to, I guess, engineer the Earth in a way that they'd be able to live on it, I guess. So that way they can mine our resources and possibly mine human beings, almost like a Matrix sort of deal,
Yeah, that makes sense. Like just terraform it in the way that they need it to be. That makes sense. What if it already is? What if it's this way because they came a long time ago and made it this way? There's another thought as well.
That is a really good thought. I've stayed awake at night thinking about what if we were engineered by the aliens or by extraterrestrials somewhere in some way, what if we are terraforming the planet just by warming it up with our carbon emissions? What if that's something that they need?
Yeah, could be. That's the ancient astronaut theorist would say yes.
Absolutely. Like with Venus, for instance, how we've maybe found life in its clouds. A once thought to be an inhabitable world might have life on it. Now, if life can possibly survive the clouds of Venus, who's to say that it's not intelligent life waiting for us to either die out, kill ourselves, or maybe they're just waiting to take over?
Yep.
I think life is closer to us than we've ever really thought possible, or at least the general public. I'm sure our government knows all about what's going on out there, and they're keeping us in the dark. They just use us as slave labor, basically.
Right, tax slaves. Don't get me started on taxes. but yeah, you're.
Hey,
I think
taxation without representation is theft. So
yeah, exactly. So good takes here on this stuff. You are a first time caller. Where did you find us?
I actually found you on Spotify. Okay. I've been listening for the last probably about 5-ish months.
Okay.
This is just the first time I've actually had to, or first moment I've had to call in. I'm really happy I got on. Okay,
sweet. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. What else do you have on your mind while we got you on the phone?
Absolutely. I think that's about it. I love your podcast, love what you do, and I really like the people who you have in your Discord. It's really cool to see their takes and everything. They've really opened my eyes to some possibilities that I never really thought of. It's really cool.
Right on. I agree 100%. Amazing people, part of this community. And you are welcome, and thanks for sharing your take, and look forward to speaking with you in the future, okay?
Oh, you bet. I'll try to call in more often here in the future.
All right. Sounds good. Appreciate it, Andrew. Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for the phone call. There you go. Easy as that. Phone line works. And thank you, first-time caller. Love that. And good takes on why the aliens may or may not be here. Love it. One more time, 702-957-1037. Get the rare news call. We don't get a lot of calls on the news show, but good stuff. And there you go. We'll put you on. Easy peasy as that. Thank you for the call, Andrew. And let's keep on trucking. Always more to go. Where are we at time-wise? I think we're good. Yeah, everything's fine. All right, let's go to this. This is phys.org, and this is pretty wild here. Eccentric exoplanet discovered. What does this mean? Led by the University of Bern and an international research team has discovered a sub-Neptune exoplanet orbiting a red dwarf star. The discovery was also made thanks to observations performed by the Saint X Observatory in Mexico. And Saint X is run by a consortium including the Center for Space and Habitability at the University of Bern and the National Center of Competence and Research, NCCR planets. Red dwarfs are small stars and thus much cooler than than our sun. Around stars like these, liquid water is possible on planets much closer to the star than in our solar system, of course, because they're cooler stars. The distance between an exoplanet and its star is a crucial factor in its detection. The closer the planet to its host star, the higher the probability that it can be detected. In a recent study published in the journal Astronomy and Astrophysics, researchers led by Dr. Nicole Scanchi of the, is that Scanchi? Shanchi? Something? Anyway, of the Center for Space and Habitability, report the discovery of exoplanet TOI 2257. And is it me, or do these planets seem more and more like they're like being named like it's like Stargate or something. TOI 2257b sounds like a total like Stargate situation right there. Anyway, Nicole Scanchi is also a member of the National Center for Competence and Research Planets, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, interesting exoplanets and being discovered and all kinds of good stuff as usual. And thank you again, Andrew, for the call. Very, very good stuff. And what we're going to do is take a quick break and, of course, get a word from our sponsor, which is you.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up to 2 accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
All right, let's keep on trucking, shall we? Let's go to this. This is a Gizmodo, and this is the one we've been on tenterhooks about, which is the mystery hut on Mars. Well, wouldn't you know it? Headline is, Mystery Hut spotted on far side of the moon is a huge disappointment. It took China's Yutu-2 rover a full month to reach its underwhelming destination. And there we go. Looks like a photograph. The object as imaged by the Yutu-2 rover. And looks like a rock. Looks like a rock, ladies and gentlemen. After weeks of anticipation, China's Yutu-2 rover has finally reached an intriguing object that appeared on the lunar horizon last December, revealing it to be nothing more than an irregularly shaped rock. Space exploration is fun because it lets our imaginations run wild. When weird and inexplicable things suddenly appear, like a looming shape, the looming shape on the far side of the moon, we can't help but hope it's a previously unknown celestial phenomenon of the discarded remnant of an alien spaceship. Meanwhile, the rational parts of our brain remind us of Occam's razor, the dictum that implores us to seek out the simplest explanation. In the case of the so-called Mystery Hut, we always knew it was a rock. And I said as this guy says, I said as much back in early December. Oh really? You're George Dvorsky here is he said, I told you so. I said back in December it was a rock. Come on. Of course it was a rock. Of course it was a rock. But I mean, come on. There's the image. Remember though, there was some weirdness with this because it seemed like the first image we saw of this thing was that it was it appeared that it was kind of far out in the distance, but the actual distance they gave us was, remember, less than a baseball field, less than a home run. So it was less than 300 feet away, but it seemed like so far on the horizon. So it seemed then like it was probably a rock, but who knows, right? Since they called it a mystery hut, and the internet went wild. And what's up, Drew says, what's up, Bronx? First time watching live, amazing show. Thank you, appreciate that. Drew just called and said, I don't buy the rock idea. Something seems fishy with that assumption. The U-22 took the photo of something square. Maybe I was a bit too optimistic. Yeah. I mean, it was hard to say because, again, like, you got shadow effects on the moon and some other stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. Like, as always, if this was something like, actually mysterious, the funny part comes into that, would we expect China to actually tell us what it was, right? I think that's the thing. So I'm probably in the realm of this was a rock. This was always a rock. It was fun to speculate, fun to talk about and think about. But I think that, if it was a little bit more compelling shape-wise, maybe, I don't know, like a pyramid or something, that would be something. But it always kind of looked like a rock, and here we are. Remember, there we go. There's the initial photo. If you guys remember, let's full screen this. You can check it out. Remember that? It just kind of like sitting out there on the horizon. And remember that first one was 328 feet away. So that was it just seemed like, like if it was a large pyramid structure, picture. Okay, well, or an obelisk or something, right? Yeah, but there you go. We wouldn't know if it was a hut. They'd never tell us as a alien Nietzschean, and that's true. That is true. But from the initial picture here, it was pretty uninspiring. Other than the fact that it kind of sat out there on the horizon, just. Well, anyway, it's impossible to really know unless you go up there and check yourself, right? But let's see, a panorama view showing the rock just to the right and center along the edge of the crater. So here we go. Here's another image of this if you want to check it out over here on this side. So if you see right there, it's actually kind of sitting on the edge of a crater, so that's what makes it seem like it's popping up. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to say. I don't know where the initial photo was taken. Was it from this vantage point this way, or was it this way? Or anyway, whatever. They told us it was a rock. Okay, it's a rock. That's fine. It's probably a rock if we're being real. So, whatever. It doesn't mean that there might not be or other mysterious things on the moon. So just FYI, don't stop dreaming just because this one might be a rock. It's all good. All right, here we go. Let's drop this in. What's up? Let's go to CNN and the Citigroup to fire unvaccinated employees this month. Well, what can you do? Citigroup staff in the United States who have not been vaccinated against COVID-19 by January 14th will be placed on unpaid leave and fired at the end of the month unless they are granted an exemption, a source familiar with this matter said on Friday. The U.S. Announced its plan to impose new vaccination rules in October and now becomes the first major Wall Street institution to follow through with a strict vaccine mandate. Its move comes as the financial industry grapples with how to bring workers back to offices safely and get back to business as usual at a time when the highly infectious Omicron coronavirus variant is spreading like wildfire. Other major Wall Street banks, including Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan Chase, have told some unvaccinated employees to work from home, but none has yet gone so far as sacking staff. While Citigroup is the first Wall Street bank to enforce a vaccine mandate, a handful of other major U.S. companies have introduced no jab, no job. Oh boy. Policies, including Google and United Airlines, with varying degrees of stringency. I can't say it. More than 90% of Citigroup employees have complied with the mandate so far, and that figure is rising rapidly, the source said, adding that the timing of the vaccination mandate would be different for branch staff. So, this is an unfortunate thing that we find ourselves here. Once again, it seems pretty draconian to not only number one give Pfizer and all these guys you can't sue them if something goes wrong. So there's that. Then the second part is make it a mandate situation where people will lose their jobs if they don't take this, right? Like it's having both is one or the other. Sure, fine. Having both is, and then did you guys see the FOIA office where they're hiding the information, and they said it'll take them 55 years to get the information out regarding the vaccine itself and how they, some of the science behind it. I'll actually look that one up. And 702-957-1037. Watch this. This is nuts. Because it adds perfectly to what we're talking about here. So let's here we go. Let's see. Okay, there it is. So this is actually brand new piping hot news because they updated this today. But when this first came out, they said that they were going to have to. It would take 55 years for 75 years, right? Something like that, right? Exactly, to get the information out, which seems absolutely ludicrous, absolutely insane. So here's this, and this is from what's this? Endpoints News. FDA loses FOIA suit over Pfizer vaccine documents and must release 55,000 pages per month, right? So they actually got smacked down and said no, that you're not allowed to wait 75 years. That's BS. So a district court in Texas will likely tie up the FDA's FOIA office for months, as the court ruled late Thursday that the agency must release all documents related to its review of Pfizer BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine. The order from District Judge Mark Bittman, handed down late Thursday, notes that while the court recognizes the unduly burdensome challenges that this FOIA request may present to the FDA, there also may not be a more important issue at the FDA right now than the pandemic, the Pfizer vaccine, getting every American vaccinated, and et cetera, so on. So interesting that it got smacked down in the FOIA thing in court, and so they're, instead of saying 75 years or whatever, which was absolutely ludicrous, at least this this is going to happen now. So yeah, exactly. So at least and the argument, this is pretty wild. The argument was that they were not going to release this information because they didn't want to clog up the works for other FOIAs. So now what they're saying is that because of this, now they're going to have to stop everything they're doing, all the other FOIA stuff they're working on, and make other people wait who've been filing stuff for years or whatever, because these FOIA requests take forever. If you've ever done one or are familiar with the process, it sometimes takes years to get a response back, and then sometimes they'll wait like 3 years and send you a form that says, we need more information. What exactly did you mean? Please clarify. And then so you got to send it back in and then wait more years. It's so stupid. So anyway, this is interesting in that, well, we'll see. 55,000 pages per month. Like, how on God's green earth? Like, that's a lot of damn pages. Like, what do you think could be in there? That's pretty wild. Anyway, just a side story to this unfortunate firing of people and the vaccine and all this stuff. Blah blah blah. Let's continue. Let us continue, shall we? Yeah, I'll see you guys in the chat. CryptoGlobe.com. Let's go here. This is Samsung enters metaverse through collaboration with Decentraland, which is $Mana. Oh, Mana. All right. Let's see. Samsung Electronics America is set to enter the metaverse world through a new collaboration with Ethereum-based platform Decentraland. The company is set to open a virtual version of its flagship 837 physical store in the digital world. As the block reported, the physical store is located at 837 Washington Street in New York City. The virtual store will be dubbed Samsung 837X and will be open on the Decentraland metaverse for a limited amount of time. The news outlet quoted a Samsung spokesperson saying that this is one of the largest brand land takeovers in the history of Decentraland, and added that the virtual store will offer digital adventures through a connectivity theater and sustainable forest, as well as a musical celebration. The connectivity theater is set to showcase Samsung's news from the Consumer Electronics Show, the CES, which started January 5th and ends on January 8th. CES, actually, the Consumer Electronics Show, they're saying that that's also, by the way, getting some big news over here in Vegas, because they're saying that the floors are empty because nobody's there, because you have to be fully vaccinated. So people are doing it digitally instead. So they're live streaming stuff, and people aren't actually there. They're watching on live streams or whatever from wherever else. So clearly, right, we got some reckoning here. We got some problems that need to be addressed, or things the way we knew them are no longer going to exist, and that's unfortunate. So let's see, what do we got time wise? I think we're good. 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. And just kicking it. It's Happy Friday, talking news and talking about you and talking about all the rest of this stuff. Let's see, time-wise. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's do another one. This is pretty wild. Did you guys see this? This is from The Guardian. Now, this is nuts. Remember the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, where there's going to be some sort of shenanigans? There's got to be. Well, here's your shenanigans. Ghislaine Maxwell, key juror has hired lawyer, trial judge says. Now the reason why, of course, is the Maxwell's lawyers say they will request retrial after unidentified juror told reporters he was sexually abused as a child. Right. So clearly, that would be of interest to people in the jury selection process, and if that didn't come out till afterward, pretty much nothing they could say to somebody that had been abused as a child. It soils the jury, right? It's unfortunate that, again, sexually abused as a child. Clearly, that's the tragedy here, but it throws a serious wrench in the works when we're talking about her conviction. So here we go. A juror who sat at the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell last month and has now told reporters he was sexually abused as a child has retained a lawyer, the trial judge said on Thursday. A second juror has also said they too discussed the experience of being sexually abused as a child during deliberations, the New York Times reported. See, this is horrific. This is stuff. This is happening out there, guys. Everybody that says, "Oh, this stuff doesn't happen," well, it happens. It happens, right? The old CNN QAnon talking point. It's just people, or anyway, whatever. The unidentified first juror's public interviews led defense lawyers in the case say they will request a new trial. U.S. District Judge Allison Nathan asked them to formally do so by January 19th. In an order on Thursday, Judge Nathan said the juror's retained lawyer, Todd Spodek, had informed her that the juror did not want the court to appoint a lawyer for him, as she had offered. Spodek is well known in the New York legal world, including representing Anna Sorokin, who once posed as a foreign heiress to infiltrate Manhattan's elite social circles. Spodek did not immediately return a request for comment. So, unfortunately, we do have some shenanigans here with, if this is the case, I mean, you got to think in terms of, again, I'm not defending this. I knew we had a feeling there was going to be some shenanigans with this, right? With this Maxwell trial. And so we have this instead. And this is the kind of shenanigans. It's part of the jury process. You're supposed to, that's probably one of the first questions they ask these people. And if they didn't fess up and say that, yes, this happened to me or whatever, I had an experience or whatever, blah, 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 they shouldn't have been on this jury. So problems, issues, as always, right, shenanigans, like we expected, and it's unfortunate. But we'll see what happens with this, and that's that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Just drinking some coffee, clearing my throat. Let's do it. Welcome back to Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and let us continue, shall we? Let's go to this. Let's move on to interesting engineering. And yep, there's always more. Here it is, linking it in the chat. And this is pretty wild. This is your a tiny new ring could transform human health. Wearables, guys, wearables. It's the future. It can track everything from steps to blood oxygen. Cool. All right. At CES 2022 is packed with wearable tech companies that are betting that consumers want to continuously track their health metrics 24/7. That's one reason that competition in the smart ring space is heating up. Movano introduced its flagship product, the Movano Ring, earlier this week in Las Vegas. What remains unclear is how much it will cost. Its price point, which is expected to be announced later this year, is substantially less than the Oura Ring, O-U-R-A. The new company could become an extremely attractive option for health enthusiasts looking to buy their first smart ring. The Oura Ring costs nearly $400 and requires a subscription, $6 per month, to use all its features. The Movano Ring tracks users' health along with a wide range of parameters, including sleep, heart rate variability, activity, respiration, temperature, and blood oxygen. The company says its product is different from other wearable health trackers because it helps users and their doctors make sense of the data. Quote, it gives you insight so you can make connections between cause and effect, the company says. Their marketing materials make the implicit promise that a Movano Ring can improve a user's quality of life by showing how a user's choices affect their health down the road. For example, the device can purportedly tell you why you slept the way you did and that your resting heart rate's higher after a few glasses of wine. Oh boy. I mean, this is in a perfect world, this is cool, right? This is things like this could save people's lives, all right? But in an imperfect world like we live in, the issue is that clearly the privacy, because somebody's tracking this data, it's your health data, it's going into some database somewhere, and then what, right? What happens with it? And it's again, right? For instance, if it's tracking like your blood oxygen level, right? It could be a good thing because it could detect like a blood clot early sort of situation, right? And they could kill you. So it is a good thing, except once again, back to that whole privacy business. It's like you just can't trust these tech companies. They're all so shady and shit and not only that, they get their nuts hacked off constantly. So even if you could trust them with this data, they're holding it and somebody's going to hack it eventually. So it's again unfortunate. The world we live in is not that perfect world. And here we go. There you go. The smart hand. This says Dark Devious, exactly. The smart hand. 702-957-1037. You want to be part of the show? Click the Discord link. Watch in the Discord, and you can hop right in here and be part of the show. Easy peasy as that. Let's go. Let's continue, shall we? Let's go to ABC News. And let's see. Let's link it in the chat. What's going on, guys? I see you there. See in the chat. Here we go. FBI arrests man who allegedly spied on Egyptian president's opponents. That's super weird. So the man reportedly sent Egypt information on critics of Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. I'll just say el-Sisi for short here. An Egyptian American has been charged with acting as an illegal agent of Egypt as he tracked and obtained information regarding political opponents of the Egyptian president, federal prosecutors in New York said. Explain to me this. How is this illegal? Like tracking, okay, quote, tracked and obtained information regarding political opponents. What does that mean? Does that mean like illegal surveillance, or does that mean keeping tabs on them? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like that. This seems a little shady that that the FBI is arresting this guy when this is like an Egyptian thing. I don't know. Anyway, it's the latest example of an autocratic leader extending their grip beyond their borders to quash political dissent, a hand that in recent years has even extended into the U.S., according to some analysts. Pierre Gergis, age 39, quote, operated at the direction and control of multiple employees of the Egyptian government, according to the criminal complaint, and as he spied on critics of President el-Sisi, the Egyptian general who seized power in 2013. So once again, let's see. Operated at the direction and control of multiple employees of the Egyptian government. So he was actually operating for the Egyptian government. And I don't know, something. Yeah, exactly. Something doesn't seem right here. This seems to be odd. Let's say odd. Why the FBI is even involved in this? I don't know. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on stuff like this because, quote, at the behest of Egyptian officials, Gergi's alleged prohibited conduct included attempting to covertly gather non-public intelligence about the activities of political opponents of Egypt's president and attempting to gain access for foreign officials to attend law enforcement-only trainings in Manhattan. It's still, okay, so non-public intelligence. So they were hacking or something, or there was there was something going on here, but I don't know. Anyway, it does seem a little bit shady that we have the FBI arresting an Egyptian national that was working for their government. Don't they have their own police and FBI or whatever? Anyway, whatever. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, and there you go. You'll be on the show. Easy peasy as that. Let's go to viz.org. Where are we at time-wise? Make sure we're good. Let's see. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Now, remember how I always say on these news shows that this is what they're setting up. It seems like I keep saying, and I don't know, like as you know, I don't have any inside sources or any of the rest of this stuff, but it does seem that as these it just keeps coming back into the conversation of, right, we're going to get smacked by an asteroid. 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 Here we go. Several asteroids are heading towards Earth. How we deal with threats, right? And so it's like every single week there's at least one new, asteroid the size of the Eiffel Tower or Big Ben or exactly whatever, the Statue of Liberty. It's always something like that, right? And it's clickbait headlines, and it always says potentially hazardous, but all that means is not, right? It means not. It means close enough to watch it as it goes by, sort of thing. But none of these have actually been on the actual impact trajectory. So I don't know. Anyway, it says, don't look now, but we are currently experiencing a rash of stories about a forthcoming global catastrophe. Yeah, no kidding. But in a change from reports of pandemics and climate change, this global catastrophe is produced by the impact of a giant asteroid or comet or both. This may feel extra ominous given the events in the recent Netflix film Don't Look Up, in which the Earth is threatened by a planet-killer asteroid. Has anybody seen that? It's gotten a ton of press, that Don't Look Up on Netflix. I haven't seen it. I don't know. When everybody's talking about it, it kind of pisses me off. It's the old climate change allegory, right? It's just like... anyway, has anybody seen that? Is it good? I don't know. I'll read the chat in a second, see if anybody's seen it. It says, but how worried should we really be, and what would happen if such a body actually hit us? It has been my experience that killer asteroids tend to strike in the summer months when news is thin on the ground. What? Maybe we are so tired of grim news about the spread of the Omicron COVID variant and associated problems that a killer asteroid or comet makes a refreshing change. What are you talking about? This is by Monica Grady of The Conversation. Okay. This sounds like poor logic, but okay, whatevs. But again, right, saying that it's a symptom of news cycles, it's not a symptom of actually killer asteroids. So Like I've been saying, right? Let's see. I watched Don't Look Up last Thursday. Absolutely great movie. All right, cool. Let's see. It's a good commentary on our society and politics. It's pretty good. Okay, and we got two people, so that's pretty good. There you go. Oh, everyone watch our propaganda. Yeah, kind of. That's what I mean. It's like I kind of don't want to watch it if it's one of those things. But if it is good and at least entertaining, I'll give it a gander. Let's see. Dark TV says Ariana Grande. Turn off the shit news. Don't look up because you're all going to die, right? Yeah. If it's worth a watch, I'll give it a watch. Thank you for that feedback, guys. All right, so some UK newspapers have turned to Nostradamus, the 16th century astrologer. A couple ran stories at the end of 2021 about 2022 being the year in which Nostradamus predicted that the world would end in a giant impact with a body from space. This hook has resulted in tabulations of objects that may or more likely will not come close to Earth in 2022. And let's check this out. So apparently, here's the one. The prophecies of Nostradamus. There you go. Mike Stradamus says no. But Nostradamus has predicted an asteroid strike and rise of killer robots to happen in 2022. Well, sweet. Maybe this will be a Troubled Mind show next week when we come back. But yeah, there we go. So we'll leave that as I'll drop that into my link special link folder, and we'll get back. And Cobra Kai is pretty good too. Yeah, sweet. Tons of stuff for me to watch. As you guys know, I'm going to take next week off. No Troubled Minds. I will try and keep the podcast feed at least peppered with some older stuff to kind of get it up there and keep you guys from getting bored out of your gourd if you're at work and are used to listening to the show on the podcast feed or whatever. So anyway, just a reminder that we will have no Troubled Minds next week. And I was going to do a show tonight, by the way, but I'm going to rest instead. But what I will do is I'll push it to tomorrow. So we will have one more to make up for the one we missed on, Tuesday when my monitor died. So we'll do one tomorrow night, and that'll be the last one for the week, and then that'll go up to the podcast feed. And all next week from Monday through Friday, there will be no Troubled Minds. Going to just take the time off, work on another YouTube channel, do some work around the house, just kind of recharge the batteries, just reset, and then come back the following week strong and kicking ass. So this may be a nice little teaser of what's to come. The Nostradamus predicted an asteroid strike and the rise of killer robots. So there you go. Look forward to that. Actually, maybe even tomorrow. All right. So if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we'll put you on the show. Easy peasy as that. Let's see. Yep. No calls. We're good. Everything's fine. All good. All right. Cool. Let us continue, shall we? We have, let's see. It's about that time. We got about this many left. All right. Cool. Let's go here. Let's do this. Let me take a swig. Actually, what time is it? Okay, yeah, let's do this, and then we'll take one more quick final break, and then finish up the segment and finish up the show here. So we've got this. This is you guys remember that conspiracy theory with the birds are fake? Remember we talked about that? It's like a Gen Z conspiracy. Well, this guy, this is from Newsweek. Man vomits live on air during TV interview. I'm so nervous, he says. Right? Okay. So anyway, there is a video. I'm not going to play this. I'm not going to play this, so you guys don't have to look away. I didn't watch it myself because I'm not into watching people puke. But a televised conversation with the self-styled parody conspiracy theorist movement was unexpectedly curtailed following a very graphic scene of sickness, although some viewers believe it was nothing more than a publicity stunt. Publicity stunts. Those don't happen, do they? Not in this world. Peter McIndoe, credited with setting up surrealist campaigner group Birds Aren't Real, was being interviewed on morning TV when a dramatic incident occurred while discussing Generation Z, people in their mid-20s through their late 30s. He said, Gen Z is full of some amazing men, women, and children who are aiming for change. This is what our movement is all about. Now, I don't know what you guys, I don't know how you see this, but I think that, starting a campaign and actually getting traction that birds aren't real is... I think it's a good way to get yourself made fun of, right? I mean, if you want to be an activist, don't you think there are better ways than this? This is why we can't have nice things, guys. This is why we can't have nice things. There's 1,000 better ways to be activists than birds aren't real. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, then as the WGN 9 news anchor poses another question about Gen Z's supposed propensity towards falling for conspiracy theories, McIndoe is seen taking a large gulp from a mug. But before the end of the question is reached, McIndoe is suddenly and graphically vomiting brown liquid. He then appears to immediately apologize for the interruption, adding, "I'm so nervous." The live feed then appears to be cut and replaced with stock footage from birds aren't real demonstrations, although audio of the exchange continued and further loud retching, I think, is heard. Anyway, and this is why we can't have nice things, guys. This is why we can't have nice things. Yes, there you go. Activist seems like something you say after your troll thing goes viral. Yeah, exactly, right? So you don't embarrass yourself. You're like, oh, shit, this actually went viral. Yeah, we were trying to make a point about climate change. Yes, that's what Birds Aren't Real is about. We're activists for the future of the world. Yeah, exactly, right? Anyway, like I said, this is another reason why we can't have nice things. 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link, and here's one more message from our sponsor, which is you.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up to 2 accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
All right, so let's keep on moving. And we've got, this is from the times.co.uk, and this one's pretty hot. Just like Drew called, and Andrew called in a little bit earlier, and was talking about maybe life on Venus or Mars or closer than we think. Check this out. This is pretty wild. Giant sunshade could make Venus habitable, says NASA's chief scientist. How about that? Hot enough on its surface to turn lead to liquid and permanently shrouded in toxic clouds that smell of rotten eggs, Venus may be a hard sell as a future home for humans. Yet Earth's ugly sister, well, that's a nice way to put it, the most scorching planet in our solar system, could be engineered to turn it from a hostile inferno to an ocean world fit for human habitation, scientists believe. Floated as an idea in 1961 by the astronomer Carl Sagan, the potential for modifying Venus's atmosphere, temperature, and ecology known as terraforming has captured the imagination after receiving a nod from NASA's chief scientist as he headed into retirement this week. And yeah, sunshade, I guess that's the next thing is, well, we'll just put up some sunshades. And I saw this other one too, where they were talking about terraforming Mars in a similar manner and putting up some sort of like sunblocker between that kind of followed like a satellite that blocked the sun hitting Mars, and they say that it would part of the reaction of why the Venus, or sorry, what the Mars atmosphere is actually thinning is because of the charged particles from the sun, something like this. Again, I'm not an astronomer or a physicist or any of this shit, but that's what they were saying in the article that I was reading, and I didn't pull it up for this one. It's just kind of a tangent thought I had here regarding this Venus news, but they were talking about it in terms of some sort of sun shield that instead of the atmosphere of Venus sort of escaping, it would some sort of sun shield would actually keep its atmosphere would start building instead. So they're saying they could terraform it by just putting up a like some sort of shield. Anyway, pretty wild stuff here. This is the type of thing though that if these ideas sort of work, this is how you become like a type 1, type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale, is that we start being able to terraform planets sort of just by manipulating the natural process a little bit, and these planets sort of start taking care of themselves. What's up? Robert says Mars needs an ozone layer. What's up, Matt's chemtrails on Venus? Yeah, exactly, right. Geoengineering Venus. Oh, geez. What would that be called? Not geoengineering, it would be Veno engineering. I don't know. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org. Just hanging out, talking with our friends about news cycles and wild news, because why the hell not? All right, let's continue. Let's go to New Scientist. This one's pretty cool. Ocean microbes produce oxygen in a way we have never seen before. And there you go. There's that. And this is pretty wild. Let's read some of this. A new way of producing oxygen has been discovered in microbes that live in the darkest depths of the ocean. Most oxygen on Earth is produced via photosynthesis, which requires light. But Don Canfield at the University of Southern Denmark and his colleagues have identified a microbe that doesn't photosynthesize but still generates oxygen. The researchers made the discovery in their lab after studying various microbes that can live in the dark, low oxygen settings of the deep ocean. Quote, "We wanted to see the limit of oxygen concentration where organisms can still live," says Canfield. In the course of their investigations, the researchers looked at archaea called Nitrosopomylus. Anyway, that oxidizes ammonia to produce nitrogen. Producing nitrogen requires oxygen, and the microbe often lives in oxygen-rich areas of the ocean. It can, however, also survive the dark regions of the ocean where there is little oxygen, something that has long puzzled scientists. Quote, "Nobody had any idea as to why they were there," says Canfield. The researchers produced cultures of the archaea in airtight containers that were kept in the dark. They then artificially reduced oxygen levels in the containers to mimic the deepest regions of the ocean, and this is where it gets weird. The team found that after the archaea consumed all the oxygen left in the culture, oxygen levels actually started to rise again. The researchers aren't exactly sure how the microbes generate the extra oxygen. There are 3 known natural ways of producing oxygen in the dark without photosynthesis, but the researchers say that the microbes are using a different biological mechanism, one that we have never seen before. And as we say, right, quite often on this show, is that life finds a way, doesn't it? And so there are amazing things happening out there all the damn time that science is still trying to wrap their head around, and pretty amazing stuff here. So cool. Hopefully we'll get more information about this. And these microbes should not be surviving in these situations, but they are. Life does find a way, indeed. All right, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. Let's make sure we got no calls. Everything's fine. All right, let's keep on trucking. We got a couple more, and we'll finish this up. FBI says this. This is from bleepingcomputer.com. FBI. Hackers target U.S. defense firms with malicious USB packages. The FBI warned U.S. companies in a recently updated flash alert that the financially motivated Fin7 cybercriminal group is targeting the U.S. defense industry with packages containing malicious USB devices to deploy ransomware. So just a word to the wise guys: if you get a USB dongle in the mail, don't go put it in your computer, please, for crying the fuck out loud. Anyway, the attackers are mailing packages containing bad USB or bad Beetle USB devices with the Lily Go logo, commonly available for sale on the internet. The packages have been mailed by the USPS and the United Parcel Service, USPS and UPS, to businesses in the transportation and insurance industry since August 2021, and defense firms starting with November of 2021. Fin7 operators impersonate Amazon and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to trick the targets into opening the packages and connecting the USB drives to their systems. Since August, reports received by the FBI said that these malicious packages also contain letters about COVID-19 guidelines or counterfeit gift cards and forged thank you notes depending on the impersonated entity. After the targets plug the USB drive into their computers, it automatically registers as a human interface device keyboard, allowing it to operate even with removable storage devices toggled off. It then starts injecting keystrokes to install malware payloads on the compromised systems. This is also why we can't have nice things, guys. This is another reason here. Don't jam random USBs into your... that goes without saying. It sounds dirty. Don't do it. Don't do it. Always know where your USBs are coming from, the USB drives. Anyway, what's going on, guys? I see you in the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Friday. As you know, Troubled Minds will be taking next week off, so we'll have one more show tomorrow night just to kind of round out the week, make up for the show we missed on Tuesday because of my broken monitor. And then next week, no Troubled Minds at all, other than some old shows going up to the podcast feed. So if you're missing us, no need to worry. Just recharging the batteries and doing the thing. So I'll be home resting and hanging out. And yeah, there you go. What's up, Dre? There in the chat says, how dumb would you have to be to willingly plug in a random thumb drive to a government computer? Right? Exactly. They're like, oh, I wonder what this is. Let's find out what's on it. Like, facepalm, right? Exactly. Like, once again, this is why we can't have nice things, guys. This is why we can't have nice things. Incredibly stupid. All right, let's go to this final one, and let's wrap up the news for the week. And again, so reminder, we will have a show tomorrow night. I was going to do it tonight, but instead, just again, space it out. Make sure that I'm not backed up with trying to come up with an idea between now and tonight. So tomorrow night we will do a Troubled Mind show at the regular time, 7 p.m. So look forward to the Saturday show, and then after that, no Troubled Minds after that for the following week. Check this out. This is pretty interesting. If you guys are following the some of these end-to-end encryption sort of things with, they said that WhatsApp is one of them, that end-to-end encryption stuff. And this is why you should use Signal and instead of just regular text message apps because, well, if they aren't encrypted, there's an issue, right? They could be intercepted and all the rest of this stuff. So anyway, this is pretty wild that Signal is actually going to implement. Signal is an actual what you call it, a end-to-end encryption. It's like a text messaging app. I use Signal myself. It's supposedly the most secure one out there. It's the guys that actually worked for WhatsApp. They left because they were pissed off when Zuckerberg bought WhatsApp and started turning it into basically like malware. Like it used to be like a secure thing, and again, like secure messaging app, but then Zuckerberg just turned it into the opposite, right? So they left and built their own thing called Signal, but they're actually adding, this is crazy, untraceable payments into Signal. Like, how could this go wrong, right? like it's like, oh, okay, you want to get shut down? This is like exactly what they did to Silk Road. You remember all that stuff with all the rest of that? Pretty wild. Anyway, so let's talk about a little discussed story. Again, this is from TheVerge.com that I worry could someday have big implications. The encrypted messaging app Signal's introduction of anonymous cryptocurrency payments and the opportunity it could create for regulators around the world who have been looking for an excuse to eliminate end-to-end encryption altogether. Right? A year ago, Platformer was the first to report that Signal was considering adding cryptocurrency payments to the platform, and it started with MobileCoin. Signal CEO Moxie Marlinspike, that's a name for you, has served as an advisor to the MobileCoin cryptocurrency, which is built on the Stellar blockchain and is designed to make payments as anonymous as cash. As Wired described in 2017, the idea of MobileCoin is to build a system that hides everything from everyone. Oh, well, how could that go wrong? Last year, Marlin's again, in a perfect world, this is fine. But, well, once again, we don't live in a perfect world, do we? Last year, Marlinspike told me Signal had merely begun some design explorations around a MobileCoin integration. Quote, if we decide we want to put payments into Signal, we would try to think really carefully about how we did that, Marlinspike told me. It's hard to be totally hypothetical. But in fact, work to integrate MobileCoin was already well underway, just as nervous employees had told me at the time. Signal announced a test of the integration in the United Kingdom in the spring, and it quietly rolled out the rest of the world in mid-November. The company's typically chatty blog had nothing to say about it, and yeah, interesting. So if they do this, of course, there's problems here, because this is exactly why the just like they said, giving regulators an idea to go right after actual encryption encryption by saying, look, basically terrorists are going to use this, right? Terrorists are going to be using this as usual, right? Like, you can't do anything anonymously anymore, because if you do, you're a terrorist. And so again, so it's that whole, remember that quote from Obama, something where he said, we're going to have to decide as a society if we want to, really have anonymity and safety, and we're going to have to make some decisions about anyway, right? So it's this is unfortunate that in that perfect world, this should be fine, but if it's going to give regulators an end to come squash this end-to-end encryption stuff, then we have a problem. We have a bigger problem here, and so I don't know. You tell me. As usual, I don't have the answers here. I'm not the answers guy, but this is one of those things where it's like, well, what's next? Hopefully, again, this should be fine, right? People using cash type of anonymous transactions should be fine, but the government disagrees, right? Dipping into your bank account, reporting every $600 transaction, all the rest of that, it's not good. It's not a good thing. And there we go. So anyway, just some ramblings on a Friday. Happy Friday to all you folks out there. You fine folks that listen and contribute to the show. I appreciate it very much. I reading you in the chat. I see you guys there. Thanks for all the smart chat and all the amazing support of this show, and thanks for the phone call, Andrew, first time caller there. Look forward to speaking with you more in the future. Thing is this, like I said, so no Troubled Minds next week, but tomorrow on Saturday we will have one more show just to make up from the Tuesday that we missed this week, and there you go. What's up? Stellar is still affordable at 25 cents. All right, there you go. If you're into crypto, Dark Devious is the guy. He's actually got a in the Discord, he's posting some crypto information. If you want to kind of stay on the tip of that, he's watching very closely and sharing it with the rest of us as well. So if you're into that, join the Discord. There's lots of stuff in there. The only rule is just don't be a douchebag. It's okay to tell your ideas, but if you spend your time trying to tell people they're wrong all the time, well, then you're not going to fit in. Just be tolerant of other people's ideas and share your ideas as well. It's as simple as that. The rule is don't be a douchebag. Don't spam. Don't, that's it. Like, it's easy. It's super easy. So just play nice with the other kids. And there you go. So, all right. So as we finish this up, let's get the hell out of here. Let's smash the button and do the thing and get some music. And so reminder, no Troubled Minds next week, but we do have one more Saturday show tomorrow. And we'll do that to make up for the Tuesday show we missed. And that's what's going on. So if you want to be part of that, stay tuned. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Regular time, we'll do the thing, and we may as well talk about this. Let's give you a little teaser. Nostradamus predicted an asteroid strike and rise of killer robots to happen in 2022. Maybe that'll be the thing. Wink, wink. And there you go. So, all right, let's get the hell out of here. One more time. If one Saturday show tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific. Thank you again for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for the great call there, Andrew, first-time caller. Thank you to all the amazing and smart chat. Thank you for being you and supporting the show. And that is a wrap. That is a wrap in the week for Troubled Minds, except for that secret show tomorrow. So wink, wink, secret Saturday show coming up. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening. Happy Friday, and all the rest of that. Time to get the hell out of here. Let's do it. Let it roll. Michael Strange, out. Happy Friday. See you guys tomorrow.